at a time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
What is going on, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. I'm Jono, your host, and today's a bit of a catch up and a bit of a look into what's coming ahead. So firstly, I guess we better touch on this news. It's a bit disappointing, but it is what it is, and we got what we got. So, Manuel Charr has been reinstated as the WBA regular champion after Daniel Dubois relinquished that title. It was supposed to be dissolved when he fought Alexander Usyk. He lost, the belt was gone, and within a week the WBA announced that he's reinstated. So we will have a listen to the article in just 1 second. I've made a stuff up, so it's gotta fix that. Give me a sec. Just double check. Yeah, okay, that should be good. Have we got a funny noise going on? A buzz or something? No, sounds alright. Alright, so, getting back to it. This article from Boxing Scene. Have a good listen. It's a little lengthy and it explains all of why and how, and I'll give an opinion at the end of it, so check it out. Damn, you guys can't hear that, can you?
Super.
Oh, I've made good stuff up. Haven't put the audio on there. I don't know why it's not on there in the first place. God damn it. Give me 1 sec, team. Maybe you could hear that. I just couldn't see that you could hear it. God damn it. I know it's set up over here, so we'll go over here. I know it's set up here. Alright. Listen to this article, team.
Boxer. Defeated Daniel Dubois. Maybe that's the normal on the The WBA was granted a motion to dismiss earlier this month, but the ruling was successfully challenged by Cha. The heart of the lawsuit stems from always 1 minute. Terms of I'll never. Always. Keep itself and try move. I know.
So there you have it. So Cha has to face Big Baby Miller, Big Pharmacy Miller, before October 14th. And then they said he has to face another man. He has to face a mandatory as appointed by the WBA. So if the WBA have any brain left, they will make the winner of this fight whoever's entitled to a final eliminator mandatory shot. So it'll effectively be Miller, because he's going to beat the living snot out of Manuel Cha. Jarrell Miller should be in the final eliminator against whoever they appoint for the WBA super title, and then they can get rid of it. But you see the WBA whining about the court case forcing them to do this, trying to cover their ass, but this would never have happened in the first place if they had have been on Don King's ass and made sure he provided the correct documents for Manuel Cha to get a working visa in the States. He needed the contract and other details from Don King, but he refused to provide them. But the WBA turned around and let him just walk away with that belt. Just take it without a fight. What the fuck did they expect was going to happen? I don't like Manuel Cha, but he's well within his rights. He got shafted by Don King. Really? He got shafted by the WBA because they were doing Don King fucking favours, letting him run away with belts for his fighters without even fighting it. So don't moan and bitch about it, WBA. You did it. If you had done your job in the first place, we would never have had this situation. The belt would be gone. I think Trevor Bryan would have beaten Manuel Cha anyway. But no, Don King ain't having it. Not taking no risk. We'll put him in there with Jonathan Guidry and freaking Bermane Stiverne and call it a title fight. It's fucking ridiculous. But anyways, that's what we got. So there's no fight between these two announced yet, but it has to be set before October 14th. So let's get it. Right, moving on to the second piece of news I wanted to get to. This fight here is going to be at the end of the month on the 30th of September. Otto Wallin v Murat Gassiev. It's going to be in Turkey. Not too far from homes for either of these guys. Otto Wallin being Swedish and Murat Gassiev being Russian, although I believe he's now based in the US. Well, he's not fighting in Russia, and he's not being sanctioned, not being sanctioned by sanctioning bodies, but he hasn't been fighting a lot. Now this is going to be a real interesting fight. I just really hope Murat Gassiev actually makes it to the ring this time, because this guy gets injured a lot, man. He gets injured heaps. Holy crap, that background music was loud. You wouldn't have been able to hear anything. I hope you've been able to hear me ramble. But anyways, we got it sorted again now. Yeah, so this fight is going to be interesting. I mean, we know Otto Wallin's level. You know, he's fought Tyson Fury. He did reasonably well against him. He absolutely owned Dominic Breazeale. Dominic Breazeale hits pretty hard. He usually wears down his opponents, but he was getting pieced up with the straight left, because Otto Wallin's a southpaw. Murat Gassiev does have the one loss. As we know, it was to Alexander Usyk in the World Boxing Super Series final for cruiserweights. That was where Alexander Usyk became undisputed at cruiserweight. Gassiev has had a few fights at heavyweight, but not of any decent level. I mean, the best fight I guess you could say he had would have been, sorry, not the best fight, the best opponent he would have been Mike Balagun, and it was kind of competitive, but Gassiev wasn't doing a lot. As soon as he threw a decent punch, Balagun bit the dust, and I thought Balagun was pretty durable usually, but he looked like once he felt that power, he didn't want anything to do with it. You know, he stood up right on 10. One of those jobs. I'm standing up, look, but I didn't really try and beat the count. Murat Gassiev's only 6'3", and Otto Wallin is 6'5.5", nearly 6'6", so he's going to have a substantial height and reach advantage. But Otto Wallin, I don't think we've seen him in the ring. I've never heard of him fighting anybody who punches quite like Murat Gassiev. Murat Gassiev does hit very hard. So if he can possibly land some shots on Wallin, we could be in for a surprise. But I think it's a real interesting fight. I think most people would pick Wallin on points, maybe. It's probably what it looks like at face value, but shit, I don't know. Gassiev's pretty basic. He's got a good left hook and he's got a good straight right. Like I say, he hits very hard, but he's not very active a lot of the time, particularly early in the fight. Pretty much relies on knocking his opponent out, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. If he gets too far behind in the early rounds, Wallin maintains his range, does what he does. He doesn't do anything special, but he does everything solid, so it makes sense, I guess, Wallin on points, but I wouldn't exactly be surprised if Gassiev lands something and the fight changes. So that's one to look forward to at the end of the month. It's going to be a goodie. There is, I'll get to that last. So, what do we got? The next one, this one's a fair way away as well, but it's been announced and I think it's real interesting as well. Justis Huni, the Australian prospect, is going to be taking on Andrew Tabiti at heavyweight. Now, Andrew Tabiti has had, I think he's only had one heavyweight professional fight. His last fight, he weighed in at, 216 pounds, I believe. That's wrong. Yeah, so Justice Huni, he's 6'4". I think he's got about a 78-inch reach as well. Andrew Tabiti, he is 6'1" with a 76.5-inch reach. Now, I've got no doubt that Huni will be the big time better boxer in this matchup, but Andrew Tabiti hits hard. He hits hard enough to do damage. I mean, his last fight at heavyweight, he retired the guy in the 5th round out of 8. The guy was unbeaten. His name was James Wilson. I know a guy called James Wilson. Went to school with him and he was a kickboxer. But anyways, he was 7-0 with 1 draw. His previous fight to that was a knockout in the 2nd round at cruiserweight. The fight before that was a knockout in the 5th round at cruiserweight. The fight before that, I think it was a semi-final? No, it was a quarter-final. The World Series of Boxing against Yonir Dorticus. He went 10 rounds before getting stopped out of 12 in that. Prior to that, he had a unanimous decision victory over Ruslan Pfeiffer. Don't know who that is. But he was unbeaten at 23-0. Cruiserweight still, of course. So this could be very interesting. Justice has good hand speed. He has good punch selection, but he doesn't really have a lot of power. And he's got hand issues all the time. He keeps busting his hands already this early in his career. I mean, if Andrew Tabiti can get to Justice and crack him on the chin a few times, he might have some real success, but getting to Justice's chin, if he gets in trouble, he can move pretty well, but he gets tagged up pretty badly at times. You see, Joseph Goodall was tagging him up. Even Django Apilu was tagging him up. So it's not like his defense is that great. But this fight is going to be on the 28th of October. It's going to be, what, in Mexico? Am I seeing that right? Polform Bintio, oh Jesus, this is Mexican. Jerez Concan, I don't know where, oh, Cancun. It's in Cancun. Well, that's interesting. That's random as. Where's Andrew Tabiti from? Christ, is he from Cancun? Excuse me. No, he's from Chicago, Illinois. I don't know, man. But this that's gonna be a very interesting fight, in my opinion. So if we move on, there was a bit of a ruckus last week, wasn't there, with what's his name? Fabio Wardley and David Adelaide. Adelaide pushes Fabio Wardley at the presser. Then walks away, and one of Adelaide's team members is having words with Wardley, and Wardley gets an elbow, gets a cut on the eye. Then it gets broken up. Wardley manages to get around security and walks around. He's trying to get to David Adelaide, and there's that same dude who put the elbow in is between them. He's not even looking at the dude. He's got eyes for Adelaide. He goes for him, and this dude chucks a left hook, drops him. He didn't even see it coming. He's just got no idea when it comes to street fight situation. There's Fabio Wardley, but apparently that fight's going to be on the Fury v Ngannou undercard. If that fight's on there, I really want to watch that fight, so I'll watch it, but then I won't be watching the main event. I'll be boycotting that dumb shit. The Duck King and the Dana White reject can go and have a fight. It ain't boxing. It's a fucking circus, so I won't be watching that, but definitely interested in Fabio Wardley and David Adelaide. That's a good fight. So, I guess the other thing is there's been some management changes in Skills Challenge in Saudi Arabia. The people who were going to be paying the purses for Wilder v Joshua, apparently they're going through some management changes and some crap, and the fight has to be renegotiated now. It might not be in Saudi at all anymore. It might not happen at all, but can't be blamed on Wilder or Joshua or their promoters. If this is the case, just get down to it, negotiate, fight somewhere else. No big deal. No more people are whining and crying around the internet. Oh, Eddie Hearn's done this. Oh, Al Heyman's done that. And oh, blah, blah, blah. Joshua doesn't want to fight. And Wilder, oh, blah. Who cares, man? Who gives a flying fuck? If they're going to fight, they'll sort it out. If they're not, they won't. It's not like either of them are holding belts and holding up divisions or anything. So I don't see what the big deal is. If this was happening between the two when they both had belts, then you'd be looking for someone to blame, right? But that ain't the case. No one's got belts. No one's holding up no division. Who gives a shit? If it gets made, it gets made. Let's see it. If it don't, fight someone else. Who cares? Alright, so that's the update for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Sorry for the technical issues, and I'll catch you all next time. Alright team, that's all we have for you today. Hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and that bell icon for future notifications so you don't miss nothing. Also, get over to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. The invite link is in the description. There's lots of things you can find there, like fight links, boxing chat, prediction leagues, fight streams, and fight parties. So get into it. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you.